Hey, good morning everybody. So day 2 of our 10-day Alaska trip, and we woke up pretty early. Actually, one thing I'll have to recommend everybody is if you're a very light sleeper, bring a freaking eye mask, because it doesn't get very dark in Alaska, particularly in the summertime. So even at like 1 o'clock, you're still gonna see some levels of sun. So if you're a very light sleeper, please bring an eye mask, because I did. I'm a light sleeper. So anyways, we woke up at about 6 o'clock to kind of get ready for our drive towards Denali. We had initially made bus depot reservations that leads you into Denali State Park. So it's something that everyone has to do. You can't really drive your own personalized vehicle into Denali. At least there is a certain cutoff point that they'll allow you to do that. Otherwise, you are gonna have to take a bus. And I think the price costs about $60 per person. Again, highly recommend everybody, if you're watching this video, make reservations early, because a lot of times these places can get filled, and if you come to Alaska and you're not able to do the Denali experience, there's no point in coming, honestly. So I'm excited, and if you guys remember from yesterday where we ended up visiting the Crepery for just getting some snacks, we're gonna go ahead and check that place out again and see what they have for breakfast, because I don't really feel like eating McDonald's. I don't want something like fast food. I want something good. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what Crepery for breakfast looks like. So we came back to the crepe place, and I ended up ordering what's called the Alaska breakfast crepe, which consists of cheese, eggs, reindeer sausage, mushrooms, and onion. So think of it like a typical breakfast burrito, but obviously with reindeer sausage. Highly recommended from the people here and from me. Alright, so here we are. We finally made it to Denali National Park. So we started from Fairbanks and making our way down Alaska Highway 3. And the drive took about 2.5 hours, because we did end up doing some little bit of stops here and there. But I have to say the drive is one of the most beautiful drives I have ever driven. And I could say that I've only been to 2 other places that have spectacular drives. The first one is Norway, and the other one is Scotland. And I just have to say, when you're gonna come to a point where you start seeing a lot of mountain ranges, and just due to the fact that we had spectacular looking cloud layers, along with a little bit of sun, along with a little bit of cloudy rain clouds, it creates a beautiful, awesome, and spectacular contrast, and it really just makes you appreciate just how awesome and fantastic and magnificent just Mother Nature really is, you know what I mean? And so we finally made it to the Denali bus depot, where we had again made reservations for a 12 o'clock bus tour. And again, highly recommend, if you haven't already done so and you do plan on visiting Denali National Park, make a reservation for the bus tour, because you cannot access the main part of Denali National Park without going on a bus. Anyway, so I'm excited to really just go out there, right? Us, nature, the bus, bears, moose, and of course, just the world. All right, everybody, so we finally made it on the bus stop, and it's gonna take about 3 hours. 3 hours to get to the Eielson Alpine Trailhead. A couple of things is I would highly recommend sitting on the right side of the bus, meaning, so if you're facing the bus, you want to sit on the right side, primarily because you want to be on the interior aspect, making your way over towards Denali State Park. So sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and enjoy some awesome landscapes. Money shot Discovery Channel. All right, so first stop, actually real first stop, is the Polychrome Overlook. And if you've seen the drive up here, it's so beautiful. I can't express it enough, just how nice it really is. There's a different colors of the mountain, and different shades of green, brown, red, even some snow. So we have a little 10-minute break here over at the Polychrome Overlook. I'm trying to rush as much as possible to get some nice pictures, nice videos for my viewers, and myself, of course. Woo! Look how windy it is! So windy! Alright guys, we finally made it. So after about 3 hours of being on the bus, we finally made it towards the Eielson Loop Trail, or Eielson Stop. And I'm debating whether which trail to do, primarily due to the fact that we have about 50 minutes before the bus decides to depart. Now, I believe this only happens if you are taking the 12 o'clock if you're basically reserved for the 12 o'clock. So I imagine if you took the 8 o'clock bus tour, you're able to take a later bus back towards the main part of Denali Visitor Center. But unfortunately for us, we took the last one. So anyways, such a majestic and beautiful sight to see. Again, due to the fact that only about 30% of people can see Denali Mountain, primarily due to the fact that it's always pretty cloudy. But the fact that we have pretty much a nice, good, scenic view of basically the base and midpoint, as well as pretty much the snow cap of Denali, tells us that we are having a good day today. Remember, it's my birthday on Sunday, so the gods have been favoring me. Yeah, maybe. So anyways, guys, nice. You know, there's no words. Like, honestly, sometimes when you just look at something like this, so majestic, it's very calm, and just like you don't really see this in everyday life. You really get a chance to appreciate just how beautiful like nature is, like how Mother Earth, and how, whether you believe in God, Buddha, Allah, the universe. I believe in the universe, by the way. Like you can't help but just be amazed by how something like this is created, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately for me, I wasn't really able to participate in some of the hikes that are located in the Eielson, particularly the Eielson Alpine Trailhead. Now, I mentioned this before, but I would recommend, this is why I say make reservations early on ahead of time, because if you were to choose, let's say, an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock bus pickup time over at the actual Denali Village Visitor Center, you, let's say, get here at about 12 o'clock, and you'll be able to kind of experience some of the hikes and trailheads that are located in the Eielson Visitor Center. But again, because it's already close to about 5 o'clock right now, we're kind of pretty much the last stop before they start taking people and heading back towards Village Center. So, or taking people back to the Visitor Center. So that's why I really highly recommend coming earlier, so you get a chance to really experience all of this. And I am just so happy, so blessed that I got a chance to see Denali or Mount McKinley mountain, because again, just due to the fact that they say 70% of people who come to Denali never get a chance to see it, because again, it's primarily cloudy, it's primarily, maybe the weather's just not good, but we got a chance. We got a chance to see it, and maybe because it's my birthday, you know, I don't know, I'll take it, right? The gods have provided for us, the gods. So I've been watching a lot of Vikings, so it's kind of like, you know, everything's about the gods providing or taking away, things like that. But I want you to just take a chance to really listen, and just how quiet it is. Like, just listen. So we're gonna get into our bus pretty soon, just making our way back towards the Denali Visitor Center. And so we actually do have plans to camp over at Riley Ridge. And I do believe that it costs about $20 or $25 to camp for one night. And my family, who didn't want to end up camping, are gonna stay at the Grand Village Lodge or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look and see what their accommodations are. And obviously we're gonna get the tent, right? But either way, it gives us a chance to really experience like actually living in Denali Park for even one night versus living in a hotel, right? Comfort versus quality, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, really nice. All right, not gonna lie, feeling very tired after that long bus ride. So everything takes about 6 or 7 hours, and it's finally dinner time, and we haven't really had anything to eat since morning. So here we are trying to find a place to eat at Denali Village, and let's take a look. I think I wanted to go ahead and pick, at this point we're pretty much hungry for anything. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's available. All right, so unfortunately that pizza place is not gonna happen, primarily because the fact that we have to wait about 50 minutes to an hour and we're all very hungry already. So again, it sucks that we kind of came kind of late and there's not a lot of shops that are open. So depending on what time you guys want to eat dinner, you might have to wait a little bit. So make sure you get some snacks, have some water. But we ended up doing the Thai and Chinese place. Now, I need to say they only accept cash, so make sure you carry some cash with you. And anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and do some Thai Chinese food for today and maybe just call it a day. Actually, I want to stop by the ice cream shop. All right, so we finally set up our campsite over at Riley Creek, and I have to say, we don't need no Denali Grand Vista View or whatever it is it's called. We have something perfect right here, right now. And let me give you a little bit of some philosophical saying, okay? I remember actually reading this. It's a true story. They say something along the lines of, sometimes we have to learn what it's like to be in a discomforting situation so that we can appreciate all of the comforting things in our life. Something like that, right? But actually the setup is actually not that bad. So, I mean, granted, my parents are staying at the Grand Denali cabin or lodge or whatever it's called. And they're paying for one night. It's about $220, $230. And I mean, for the most part, it looks like a Best Western type of hotel. For a campground site and obviously the experience of just being outdoors in nature, it costs about $25. I think with tax and tip and everything, it's like $27 for one night. And you have a pretty decently sized campground. You have a fire pit on one side. You have a nice little picnic table on the other side. You have a nice big area to set up your tent, and you have lots and lots of trees where if you have let's say a hammock or something, you could definitely come and set it up. So I am not disappointed in the setup that we have at all, and it looks really comforting, and I am excited. So I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3 to experience another aspect of Denali National Park, and then we're going to start making our way down towards Talkeetna, the Talkeetna area. So all right guys, good night.